Hello, my name's Sam Letourneau and I'm the Director of Instruction here at Golftec Australia. Now today I want to talk to you about slicing and hooking and straight shots as well actually. When people come to us at Golftec for lessons, I suppose the number one problem that they're facing a lot of the time is slicing the golf ball. It's the biggest killer in golf. So we'll talk about that first. Now what causes the slice predominantly is an open club face at impact, so a club face coming in open. The way this happens for so many people is this scenario. They have a grip which is too weak, that is for the right hander, both hands turned too far to the left on the golf club. And you'll see the V of my left hand going up to my left shoulder here. I can only see one knuckle there. And the right hand, the V going up to my shoulder there as well. Now, I'm going to hit a shot for you with both hands turned too far around to the left on the golf club. And what you'll notice is that I'll just pause up the top here for a moment. And even with a fairly flat left wrist, what you'll notice is the club face is very much toe down. I'm just going to come in a bit closer to the camera and show you that that club face is very much toe down. Now, the way that comes back to impact, I'll turn to the side here, is I've got the club face toe down. You might notice, you can see it on camera there. You see a lot of the club face. It comes in open. That's my slice. Both hands turn too far to the left on the golf club. Club face gets open. Ball goes to the right. Okay. Unfortunately, for a lot of people that slice the golf ball, that's often exacerbated by this element. They've got the weak grip going already, and then at the top of their golf swing, they make another fatal flaw, which is they cup their left wrist. And if you can see the angle there between my left wrist and my arm, it opens the club face even more. So they're getting up to the top, cupping the left wrist. Now, I don't know if you can see it there, but the club face is very much now toe down. I'll do it from the side. You see even more of the face hanging down, and it comes in even more open. I'm going to hit a shot where I have my weak grip, and I cup the left wrist. The ball goes off to the right. Now, how do I get away from that? How do I get away from the right-hand side of the golf course and turn from slicing into hooking? Now, it's often been said, this is a very good point, you can go from slicing to hooking to good golf. You can go from hooking to good golf, but you can't go from slicing to good golf. The slice shot is a weak shot. You lose distance. It really impacts on your scoring potential, and you have to learn how to move the ball right to left and then be able to turn your hook into a fairly straight shot or just a little bit of a draw. Now, you can see on those shots, the graphic that came up afterwards was the open club face. Now, here I am. I'm going to take that weak left hand grip and I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to put my grip to the right. The V now goes to my right shoulder or beyond. The right hand is the same. I see 3 to 4 knuckles on my left hand. That's a pretty strong grip. I'm going to hit a shot with the strong grip. When I get up to the top with a neutral wrist position, which is just flat, you can see that that club face is much more up at the sky, you see. It's a stronger position. Here's the shot with the strong grip. Okay. Now, the thing that you notice is it does go further. The shot's gone a good 160 odd metres. The graphic that comes up now, we see the club face slightly closed at impact. So there's my shot getting away from the right hand side of the course and starting to turn into a hook or a draw. Okay? Maybe strengthening my grip didn't quite do it enough if I'm a really bad slicer and I need to add in a second closing or strengthening element, and that is I'm going to bow my left wrist at the top. Can you see? I'm not just going to have it flat. I'm going to bow it. If I come in close there, you'll see that when I bow it, club face is now right up at the sky. It's what we call even better when I've got my mic plugged in. Now, closing the club face at the top gets you away from slicing forever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit a shot. I've got both hands turned to the right on the golf club. I am going to have a bowed left wrist at the top. The club face hopefully will come down even more closed. Let's give it a go. Okay. I hit the ball well and truly to the left, even a little bit more than the last shot I hit there, and I'm not going to be a slicer anymore. Now, there's my closed club face. Have you noticed that the shots with the closed club face are stronger shots that sound better and go further? That's an important point. Where do I go from there? I'm not a slicer anymore, but now I've got a shot that's going too far left. I need to neutralise the situation. What I do is I go from my very strong grip to a neutral grip. The V just between my chin and my right shoulder, and the same with my right hand. Now, at the top of my swing, I'm going to have not a cupped or a bowed left wrist position. I'm going to have a fairly square left wrist position. And now the club face is going to be somewhat in alignment with my left wrist and arm on about a 45-degree angle. Let's hit a shot with a fairly neutral grip and a fairly square left wrist position at the top. Okay? The ball goes a little bit straighter. Still with a little bit of a draw because that's my natural shot. But I'm not going to have a wild hook and I'm certainly not going to have a slice. Now, that's the grip and the wrist positions. Okay? But they also relate to your release pattern. And that's where we see people like, Dustin Johnson, okay, who gets very bowed at the top there, very closed club face, still hit the ball in a controlled fashion because of his release. What Dustin Johnson does is he has a grip on the strongest side, certainly with his left hand. He has a bowed left wrist position at the top. Graham McDowell is actually the same. Club face very much up at the sky. But their release pattern is very much a block through impact without any rolling whatsoever of the hands, or else they would wildly hook and close the golf ball. So they work much more from closed to open through impact. It's much more of a blocking release, and they can hit straight shots, you see. The other end of the scale might be Ben Hogan. He had a very weak grip and a very cupped left hand at the top of the swing because he'd been very much a hooker of the golf ball and he was trying to get away from it. So he went to the other end of the extreme. He had lightning fast hands, and even with that cupped left wrist and a weak grip and an open club face at the top, he was still able to square the face of the golf club at impact. So it's a little bit horses for courses. You need to match up your grip with your wrist position at the top, bowed, flat or square, with your release pattern, okay? I hope this has given you some idea of how to go about that process. You don't need to self-diagnose. You can, if you're in Melbourne, drop into Golftec in the city or go onto our website, book a lesson. We'll do an expert analysis. We will provide the diagnosis and the correction for you. If you're not in Melbourne, you can look at our online lessons. You can send in video of your swing. It's face on and down the line. It's a very simple process. Our coaches will give you a full analysis of your swing, show you how to correct it, and send the video back to you. I hope this has helped you.